Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you guys are at. This is Bridget Patton in Soul Embodiment Tribe. I had a little trouble getting my live going, and so I apologize for being late. I think it was interesting with the timing though, because I think with everything that's going on right now, there's a lot of people who are also experiencing different emotions, like I needed to start right at 12:30 and I wasn't able to get on the camera right away. And so I felt emotions coming up in my body. And of course, this was divine timing that I had all of these feelings so that I could really connect and be that vessel for any questions that you guys are experiencing in your mind, in your body, in your soul. Wherever you're at in your journey right now, I am doing this offering, and it's really going to be based on the questions that are coming in. If people aren't asking questions, I'm just going to share a short message and then I'm going to hop off. So I can really learn to manage my energy in all of this space. I have a lot of people reaching out right now, and I thought it would be better if I just came in here and, offered this to everyone, just kind of open the floor up. So please pop any questions that are coming up for you in the comment section. There might be a little delay, a little lag. That's okay. I will just kind of be speaking as I go and see what's coming in. So the first thing that I just kind of want to offer to everyone is to understand that what I'm doing in my role is to assist people in managing their emotions. Anybody who has listened to my videos, read my posts, worked with me in coaching, whatever it is, knows that that's my thing, is emotions. And there's a lot of emotions coming up right now for humanity. And I think it's a crucial tipping point opportunity for all of us to look at life in a new way. And whenever there is chaos, whenever there is a problem, just really stay focused and understand that if we can see a problem, if we are conscious enough, if we are aware enough, if we're evolved enough, mature enough, use whatever language you desire, that also means, because of the law of polarity, that you also have everything you need within you to solve that problem. And it's an invitation here and now for each and every one of you to tap into the solution part of you and not get caught up in the energies and the emotion of all of what's going on around outside. And this is a really good practice for all of us right now. And even people who have been doing this inner work of connecting, inside, it's giving everyone a chance to take it to the next level. It doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. This is challenging all of us, and it's asking all of us to step up in what we're doing. And obviously, when we all have to get quiet and we're all being in a space where our normal day-to-day schedules are being interrupted, it's going to cause a new pattern. And we can either choose what that pattern is going to look like, or we can allow our emotions and our fear to loop around, and we can be codependent, looking for outside information, outside validation for what it is you're feeling, why it is that you're feeling this way. And, I'm not saying that that's not beneficial. It's important that everybody follows their prompts and sees what resonates with them. But also important to, regardless of what's going on out here, that you're able to go back within yourself and center yourself so that you can make the highest decision for your situation, for your life, or whatever it is that you're doing right now. And the reason that I say that is because even I have had moments of getting caught up in the energy of fear, and I know in those moments not to make a decision right then. When I'm in a place of fear, it's an opportunity to explore what pattern or what program is causing that fear within me, and then ask what it is that I have learned within my life, or what it is that spirit is inviting me to shift within myself. So is there a belief system that I need to change? Is there a habit that I can improve? What is it in my systems that will allow me to expand? So we're already expanding, but how we experience the expansion is going to be very different depending on what our belief systems are. So when we look at the systems that are breaking apart in our world right now, it is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of each individual in the collective. Everything is connected. Nothing is by chance. Even if, and I'm going to go in the extreme opposites here, even if there was sabotage happening, even if there were things going on that we didn't know about that maybe we're finding out about now, and I can assure you I've been following a lot, like there really isn't any new information coming across my desk, so to speak, but the energy attached to it has definitely shifted, because there's a lot more people that are looking for a why right now. Like, why is this happening? What's going on? What's that going to be? So we're all kind of latching on to whatever is already out there, and we're allowing ourselves to be guided from external sources rather than seeing what spirit is guiding us to. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is a chance for all of us to get really productive in a different way with our energy and manage our energy differently. And it's important that the information that's coming across your table, that you're feeling inside of you and seeing what kind of sensations they're creating. And every sensation that comes up is important. It's valid. It's communicating something to you to master, to understand, to expand your perspective on. So if you're allowing someone else's interpretation of this energy to guide you over your own inner compass, and what I mean is journaling, going into a meditative state and connecting with yourself, going out in nature and allowing the messages of the animals that show up, or even the clouds in the sky, like what it is going on that isn't human made, so that we can transcend human programming when everybody is feeling right now. So the benefit of everyone feeling right now is we're all open. Everyone's open and feeling. So this gives us a catalytic opportunity to have a quantum leap in consciousness. Sorry, I need to slow down. It's giving us a chance to really understand what is being guided of us. There's a lot of people that are going to be questioning things right now, and it's because this is giving us a chance to all, flow into our soul purpose, to look at the systems that humans have created from a new perspective and decide if this is the way that we want to keep doing things. And looking for the helpers. I love the Mr. Rogers quote about looking for the helpers. And are you allowing yourself to be nurturing and the communities that are reaching out to each other and finding the solutions? We are hardwired to find solutions, but our ego has fear inside of it that doesn't want us to believe that we can be safe, that we can find a solution. But you have to understand, regardless of what humans think they're doing on the planet, no matter what humans are doing on the planet, Mother Nature is greater than the human species, I assure you. And anybody that's listening to this can probably attest to hurricanes and, earthquakes and blizzards and whatnot that could go on right now and that are going on right now. And we can even say, go in the direction of what if they're being man-made and go in that direction. At some point, the universe is going to bring balance. And harmony. That has been prophesized for as long as humans have been on the planet. And it may be a struggle for some of us to believe that it's possible. But even if this isn't something where it happens overnight and all of a sudden all of us are evolved, the trajectory is showing and proving where people's consciousness is. If you've been studying some of this stuff for, decades or years or months or weeks, and you see people just now share information with you that you've come across however long ago, sliding down the rabbit hole or whatever you were doing, realize that that's where the compassion can come in. This is where the honoring of where someone else is on their journey comes in. We don't need to argue with people to try and prove a point. We don't need to force our opinion on someone about what is happening. Everybody on the planet right now is at a point where we have embodied our souls. Many people have embodied their souls and have learned to meditate and be present in such a way that it is contributing to what's around us. They already have access to it. Whether they take the invitation up and do it is nothing, but releasing the attachment to that. We sow our seeds in this season by living our life and doing what our inner compass is asking us to do for the good of humanity, and mirroring that back and reflecting it back to yourself. Whatever you're doing in your life, loving, compassion, balance, meditating, dancing, having fun, being with your family, whatever programs that you've put in place as a result of living in the unknown and being able to climb out of that cave. We've all been there. We talk about the dark night of the soul. We talk about the spiritual awakening and all of these things that happen, the breakdown of the ego death. We've all been through it at various stages, and we've been able to find the light. We have reached the light in some way. Do we go back down into the darkness? Yes. That's the nature of being human. Going into the darkness, into the unknown, and finding that thread to get to the light again and again and again. This is how we are recreating our reality. We're allowing the darkness of the unknown and not being able to see or, have an idea of what's going to happen next, and we're allowing ourselves to expand consciously and choose how our experience is going to look. So like I said, we're expanding anyway. So what is our experience going to look like? How are we going to choose for our experience to be the one that we want to be living in? So I'm going to look at some of the questions going on over here, and there's some comments. So a lot of people are feeling conflicted. What do? I have this thing going on, and in the moment it feels heavy. It feels like everything is crushing down on me. All I have to look at is patterns. I look at patterns, and that's just how I've wired my brain. That's why I don't get caught up in the emotion of something, even when I'm experiencing the emotion. I can look at it and I can decide from experience, when there's a trajectory of this pattern, what it is that's going to unfold. And from my personal experience, and I'm sure each one of you have had some point in your life where you know what to do, and you didn't know what to do, and you didn't know what to do. Right now, every second, every minute, energy is shifting. People are making choices and decisions, and we have an opportunity to amplify and capitalize on the energy that's moving right now and get silent and get slow. Some of you may be having the fire lit under your ass. You may be feeling like you need to move right now. You may be feeling like a project or something you've been putting on the back burner. You're like, oh my God, now I have time to focus on this. This is something I've always wanted to do. This is a dream of mine that I haven't been able to implement because I've just been so busy at work, or I've been so busy taking care of the family or going to events and all that kind of stuff. And now Spirit is giving us this pause, this breath, to be able to make these decisions and either move forward with these projects or get quiet. Get quiet, get meditative, journal, rest, nap. Get in the bathtub with some salt. Side, breathe in the air. Focus on your toes while you're walking. Sometimes just moving from one place to the next. And don't set a big expectation for yourself. If you feel frozen, just move one foot, one finger. Rotate your ankles or your wrists. Any movement is going to create a change in the energy. And once you get past that point, do the next right thing for you. Allow Spirit to guide you in each moment. And instead of looking at what you can't do or what you're unable to do, look at what you're being invited to do now that you have the time and the space in which to do it. Some of us, it may be a deep rest that is needed. I've been resting, not knowing this was what was coming. I could feel even my husband, who doesn't do work like this, but our lives are completely parallel. He even said he felt like he was resting in preparation for something. And so all of us knew something was shifting. We felt it. Whether we want to admit it or not, that's okay. It's okay. But I guarantee that each person listening to this had some type of prompts or patterns or synchronicities with numbers or animals showing up or whatever your anchors or symbols are. I have no doubt that it was showing up. So realize that every part of what you're experiencing right now as being a human is relevant. Working the process is working through every thread that comes up. So which emotion is coming up for you and how are you experiencing it and how are you choosing to perceive it? How are you honoring it instead of fighting against it and causing warfare inside of your body? How are you allowing yourself to accept that this is how you're feeling so that you can get into alignment, your awareness can get into alignment and give you the next step, give you that message for the next step. And the next step is given to you just by doing one thing at a time. It could be, washing dishes. It could be doing laundry. It could be, creating a ritual of every single thing that you're doing in the day. Allowing for the pattern to be revealed to you. Because if you're coming from a place of fear, you don't want to be creating a pattern in that moment. The pattern you may be creating is choosing not to attach the fear to what's going on externally and understanding that everything coming up within us right now has been within us dormant, awaiting activation when we had gotten to a point where our consciousness had evolved enough through our collective soul experiences, not just on this planet, multiple solar systems, and I'm not going to get into all that. But each and every single one is prepared for this time on planet Earth. And that is true. So if you've ever heard something that resonated with you about you being unique, or you've resisted the part where we are leading the transition, we're on the transition team. The transition team is moving from a logic mind-based society into a heart-based society. And being able to be heart-centered allows for us to be guided not from a program. Our brain records and replays. Our heart guides from the unknown. It processes the energy. It's the center of our energetic emotions, our heart and our gut. And so you may be experiencing butterflies in your stomach. You may be getting all kinds of, and I'm not a doctor, so you guys do what you need to do for this part. But I know for me, at least, I had been experiencing a lot of things going on with heart, blood pressure, stuff in my stomach. And a lot of the people that I've been coaching have also reached out and were commenting on some of these things that they were experiencing. And so everything happens energetically before it happens physically. And once it's happening physically, the download of energy has already happened. It has already been released. And our bodies are simply, and our bodies, our minds, our behavior is simply responding to an energetic pulse that has occurred. Now, each and every single one of us has felt what Mercury retrograde looks like in our life, what the moon cycles look like in our life, and how it affects us or the people around us even. So that alone is proof. I don't need science or anything like that. I can look at the patterns in my own life. It feels the planets shifting. The planets move all the time. As the planet and the solar system evolves, obviously it's evolving. We're evolving. Different species are evolving. The stars and the planets are a part of us. We are a part of the solar system. Everything is connected. Of course, it's going to affect us. So the pulses of energy that are moving through the planet right now, we have an opportunity to facilitate it in this moment. We can facilitate the energy, how we're experiencing it in our day-to-day life, and how we're interacting with our family, how we're choosing to reach out to one another in spite of the fear, in spite of the doubt. We get to choose hope right now. We get to decide how this chaos will affect our planet. Because life will continue to go on with or without the humans on it. But be sure that we have a chance to make this experience more beautiful than what we're making it. And I don't know about you guys, but I received many messages around themes that didn't really make sense months ago, years ago even, but especially in the last couple of months, there were a lot of signs I was receiving and even started feeling a transition happening in my business. I started feeling a transition in September, and I've been in this limbo state doing whatever it is that is coming in as Spirit guiding me, and this is how Spirit shows us a new way. We have to do it from our heart space. We can't do it from our mind because we're gonna create things that are already here, and we're here to bring new things in right now. It means focusing on the heart and transcending belief systems, not going out there and obsessing over the statistics and data and all of this other stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't look at it and see what's resonating with you, but also ensure that you're doing it with intention, that you're not doing it to distract yourself or pour energy into something that isn't productive. And it's a waste of our energy right now. Pouring all of our energy into reading all of this stuff and panicking and freaking out and, how is that serving you? Really be serving you at the next level is listening to your inner authority and seeing what's resonating with you. Are the messages that you're reading creating more fear? Or when you read the fear, are you coming up with a solution? Are you allowing Spirit to give you the message about what fear is coming up so that you can mute it, so you can see it from a higher perspective? Or are you reading it and focusing on it and giving all your energy and giving your power away to it, that now you're depleted of energy? Now you don't want to do anything. Now you just want to lay in bed and hide. And there are people that are in that space. People are getting frozen. People are getting in a place where they feel very stuck. And this is our time to shine. And I'm not saying, like, I see a lot of people out there doing the I told you so thing. That, like, how's that helpful? That's not helpful either. And of course, everything is relevant and everything is a part of the journey. But this is an invitation for all of you guys to, and me too, to look from a fresh set of eyes. I got that message right before everything really started coming in here in the United States anyway. I got the message to look at everyone through a fresh set of eyes. Now, the message that I'm getting from Spirit, from Source, doesn't feel suspicious. It doesn't feel like, look at everybody from a fresh set of eyes. It doesn't mean, look at everybody sideways. It means open your heart, continue to have your heart open so Spirit can guide you and see why these people are coming into our aura right now, into our energy field. Like if someone's reaching out to you or you feel led to reach out to someone, trust that. Those prompts are so important right now. We don't know where it's asking us to meet with people and collaborate with people right now. And the first step of saying, yes, I will meet with you without putting an expectation or a judgment about what that collaboration is going to look like, that's how you can invite something that without one another, without just like there's information coming in right now that I am hearing for the first time. And this is why I do these sessions, because it isn't just for your benefit. I'm not just serving, I'm serving myself also. Because this is how I can see at the next level, is by inviting all of you to share your energy with me. Your curiosity, your concerns, whatever is coming up in your body is filtering through right now. It's in my awareness, it's coming in so that there's a voice for your soul. And if it feels like doom and gloom, that's not your soul. That's your ego freaking out. Your ego trying to attach to the physical world. There's a reason why we've been doing all fluid type exercises in our world, in our reality. It's why we've been led to do yoga, meditation. You know, we're detaching from the constructs of this physical world so the energy of these higher vibrations and frequencies can move in us and through us. The only way for that to happen is for us to experience it. So we've got to rewire our interpretation of the fear and the energy that's coming in and understand, why is Spirit showing me this? Spirit is showing me this so I can evolve. Spirit is showing me this because I've had experiences up until this point that have opened me up to be able to interpret this wisdom at the highest level. So please, I'm inviting you guys, get anchored inside. Yes, look at the information, read it to be aware, to be informed of what's going on in people's minds, but not and be, you know, someone that's in there to battle and prove a point and, you know, rub it in someone's face. I'm not saying anybody in here would do this, but this is what I'm witnessing. It's okay, because that's like brother, and like this isn't a humane response. And a lot of the time people are energy and fear and they don't even know they're doing it. Like, you have to understand that sometimes people are sharing that information because they're really anchored in that reality and they feel like they are saving you by sharing this information. And so the more of us that are anchored and being level-headed, meaning no matter what fluctuations are going in, I'm not attaching to anything. If I feel that destructive energy coming in, that, the energy that breaks things down, I'm not projecting it. I'm pulling it inward and I'm allowing it to break down something inside of me, a belief system. And I'll give you an example, and then I'm hoping you have any questions. I would love to hear what questions you have based off of what has been coming in. So one example is jealousy all the time. If you're feeling an energy of jealousy, it means, this is what it means for me. You can see if it resonates. This is what I've chosen to interpret this energy as. And jealousy means that, number one, I have all the resources available to me in order to perform or to achieve or to, create or manifest whatever it is I'm feeling that jealous energy, whatever that is. I can do this too. But to transcend it, understand that if you're feeling that way, a lot of the time you're actually noticing that is a space that is already filled. And that means that there's another space just you. A space to create just like that better. And the reason I say something better is it's better when it's unique to you. Nothing is actually the same. Everything is different. That's what contrast is for, to show us the uniqueness in each one of us. So if you're feeling the jealousy energy, it's an invitation to step up and ask yourself, okay, what is it that I'm not acknowledging or owning within my own power? Where am I still playing? Where am I justifying can't do that too? Where am I still afraid of stepping into my power so I can take it to the next level? So that's one. Another is anger. What I've noticed with anger is that a boundary, an energetic boundary, is being crossed within the belief system. It's when, like anger, irritation, a lot of the time that's an energy that puts us into action. It's a frequency that moves us. Because when we feel angry, we want to move, we want to do something. So I use that energy to break something down, to set a boundary. No, I'm not participating in that. I'm choosing not to participate in this venting. If someone's venting at me about something, I don't allow people in my reality to just call me and vent. They are calling and connecting with me because they are working towards a solution or an upgrade of the belief system. I am here, I'm an ear, I will listen, I will do the work with the person, but I also am gonna speak the truth of what's coming in as we're working the process. And this is how I've learned to be able to manage my own energy. I'm not saying everybody needs to do it this way. You may feel called to build and bond with people that are venting, to build trust with them at first, and then you set a boundary like that in the future. You guys all know what to do as far as that goes. It's just really about feeling your own energy, trusting is coming in, and what your inner authority is asking you to make space for. Another one, actually, this is something that might feel a little bit uncomfortable to people. It's easy to look at the uncomfortable emotions, the ones that are like breaking things down, and assume that that those are the only emotions that we need to keep, I don't want to say keep to ourselves, recirculate for processing and digesting. But even emotions of, when we're blasting out love or we're blasting out appreciation or something of that nature, when somebody's sensitive or defensive, that can actually also trigger people. So I'm not saying do that, I'm saying be mindful of that. Just because you feel like you're spreading love doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is going to take it that way. Some people's nervous systems are wired backwards right now. And if they have gone through trauma and they have PTSD and things like that going on inside of their body, they may view and perceive that projection of love as an attack. It may be painful to feel that. So in those situations, it's best to hold the space, and the person will come into your energy field naturally. Because you've already done the upgrading inside of your own body, you don't have to project it out there to everybody. You can just be with the energy and recirculate that love within your body. And then, just like the horses, a lot of my videos include my horses. I'm not going to get into that right now. Hopefully I can get out there and do a live out there with them soon. But the horses, they are just, they're a presence. They don't project their love. They're a presence. It's our love and vulnerability being projected back to ourselves. Okay, so this is a way that we can manage our energy in a different way, is allowing for the love to move through our body, and then the people that are ready to receive that will naturally move into our energy field. And a lot of the time people come and they move into the space of the horses, and as soon as they're with the horses, they cry. And it isn't because the horses are coaching them. They're not blasting their love or anything like that on them. It's they're being present, and their heart field is enveloping. It's enveloping. It's allowing for, that space and the honoring and acceptance of the self to occur. So each one of us can really learn from the animals and our children right now. Be one of those, allow for that space to open and inviting, and also realize that when you do that, it also creates an automatic boundary. Just when you're in your body, there isn't room for your boundaries to be, disrespected, or it happens naturally. You can feel it. So I hope that some of that really helped you guys process this energy a little differently. There may have been some things on here that you already have heard, and you can really use that to see what is resonating with you and how you want to use and direct and facilitate your own energy. So if anybody has any questions, I'm just going to kind of open this up. You guys can pop on the comments. If you don't, that's also fine. I can switch over and do any channeled messages. If you guys are in need of that, you can just put a word over there, and I will see what comes in based off of the word that you post. Because obviously I don't need to know what is going on with you guys. Already knows, so whatever comes in, whatever words move through in translation, it's gonna obviously be what you guys need, not what I think it is. So I think we have a little lag over here, and so what I'm gonna do is, if you guys want to post questions, if you guys want to post whatever words over here, I'm going to pop on, and I'll probably do the videos out with the horses to answer. And so that way you can have a mirrored, reflective response to what the horses are communicating. So you guys can pop the video over here. You can do a PM. You can private message me. Other than that, I love you guys very much, and I love you for being you, and for staying in your bodies when all of this stuff is going on. And I will see you in the next video. I love you. Mwah.